Dana White at the UFC, who is probably more on the dollar side of the spectrum. Now, look, Dana's made amazing contributions, done incredible things, but he's a very different personality than you. He has different relationships with the fighters than you do. And the business was just sold a couple weeks ago, $4 billion price tag.
Yep.
What do you make of all that? I mean, you've been in the business for a long time. You've sold your organization. You've merged with other organizations. What's the first thoughts that come to your mind when you first hear about the deal, and now a week later you've had time to digest it? What does it make you think?
Well, it's a big number, right? It's the largest sale of a sports franchise in the history of the world in sports. I mean, there hasn't been, the New York Yankees haven't been sold for this kind of money, or the LA Lakers couldn't sell for that kind of money. But, you know, from a financial standpoint, I look at what are the basketball teams worth after the Clippers got bought for $2 billion by the gentleman from Microsoft, right? All the teams' values went up. So from a financial standpoint, from Viacom, who owns Bellator, they could look at it and say, well, our valuation just went up. And I told them, I said, you know what, guys? You should be celebrating along with Lorenzo and popping that champagne along with him, because Bellator's value just went up big time. Because now you have the respectability and the credibility of being in a sport and having the investment community saying, you know what, this is something that could be valuable and built up to be a multi-billion-dollar business. And that says a lot, that they proved that this is possible, and they set the benchmark. And they worked hard. I mean, I saw from the very beginning when he first came in, I'm talking about Lorenzo, and you know, it was Dana's vision, but Lorenzo was the one that, you know, financed it. And I saw him come in. I was in Japan for K1, stayed after, and Mr. Ishii, who owned K1 at the time, and myself, and Frank Shamrock and Javier Mendez were going to start an MMA league. So I stayed, and he says, hey, the UFC's in town, right? I said, oh, let's go. Because I'm a fan. I mean, you know, it's not like if I watch boxing, I can't watch mixed martial arts. If I watch kickboxing, I can't watch, you know, I watch it all. I watch Pride, I watch, you know, I was like that junkie guy that loved everything. And so he's at this, and was in a little hall with 1,500 people there. Right, it was a little nightclub actually.
It's like UFC Japan.
It was UFC in Japan.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was UFC Japan, the second one.
Second one. Okay.
And Tito Ortiz fought, Vanderlei Silva fought. I don't know if Lydell fought. Boss Rutan might have fought. Randy Couture fought. I mean, it's like all the big names, right? And really, it's like 1,500 people there, and it was a tiny little show. This is probably 2000, maybe 2001, and in walks Lorenzo Fertittia. And how I knew him was, hey, he sits on the athletic commission board in Nevada. So I knew he was, you know, what's he doing here? And, you know, and I didn't know Dana at all. So they walked in, and then there's little talk, oh, they're going to buy the UFC, they're going to buy the UFC. And sure enough, so they buy the UFC. And that was a pivot point, because honestly, MMA was going to die at that point. It could have died. People that love martial arts and love MMA should really thank Lorenzo for his contribution, because he put his money where his mouth is and invested in the sport and really saved it from the demise where, you know, Senator McCain was saying this is human cockfighting. Time Warner, all the cable networks, you know, the cable, systems were saying we're not airing MMA anymore because you guys are billing it as human cockfighting, and there's no weight classes, there's, you know, no rules. They're advertising it as no hold bar, right? And so they're marketing it like it was, you know, just some street fight, you know, that people are going to get hurt in. And then that happened. So that was one of the points that saved MMA.
Yeah. Do you think if Lorenzo hadn't stepped in then, that you and I wouldn't even be talking about MMA?
We wouldn't be talking about MMA.
Really?
I really believe
That's
that.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
So the sport wouldn't exist
as we know it. It would not exist today. And we should be thankful for that, because honestly, you know, they sold for $4 billion, but they created a multi-billions of dollars of industry, you know, because what did it do to all the MMA schools around the country? What did it do to all the jiu-jitsu schools around the country?
Right.
Think about that.
It's probably created 20, 30, 40, $100 billion worth of value.
Easily.
Yeah.
So, you know, they bring the awareness. And the other point was, the sport almost died was when, you know, they're trying to get a TV deal, and Kevin Kay from Spike TV, you know, who still runs Spike TV today, and loves MMA. I mean, this guy loves it. I mean, he's emailing me at 2 in the morning. Did you see this article on so-and-so? I'm like, No, I'm about to go to sleep, so I'll look at it tomorrow. But on a serious note, he loves, like, he watches all the fights and he loves it. And, he finally said, okay, we'll give you a shot to get on Spike TV. And so if that never happened, if Kevin didn't give them the shot, I think that it could have been game over at that time because they had hemorrhaged so much money.